Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So a lot of you guys asked me about my study schedule and how to make your own study schedule. So today I'm gonna break it down with you and show you guys exactly how to build your own schedule. I'm gonna build one with you today. And the best thing about making your schedule is not to use a pre-made one, rather to personalize it to your own weakness and to your own timeline. And that's really the best way to approach it, and that's what I did. So let's get started. The first thing I need you to do is to first decide the order of topics you're going to start with and the resources you're going to use. The order of topics you're going to start with are the things you're going to put in your cells, in the cells, all right? And the resources you use you're going to put in the columns, all right? So how do you decide the order of topics you're going to start with? What I did was to, number one, start with the weakest and then the most high yield. That's how I planned it. So I started with my weakest, as you can see, because my school didn't teach us a lot of genetics. So I started with genetics here in Words and Beyond, and then I went with the most high yield, which I thought to be cardiopulmonary, even though it's not always the case. It depends on your test, but in my test, cardiopulmonary wasn't that much as immunology or renal or repro, but I didn't know, so I started with cardiopulmonary. So that's what I did, and that's regarding Boards and Beyond. Regarding Pathoma, I started with the most high yield chapters as well. As you can see, chapters 1, 2, and 3. So you write down Pathoma, whatever, sorry, Pathoma chapters 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's as an outline, just a list of what you're gonna do before you build your schedule, right? Genetics, cell biology, all these stuff, say for instance basic form. Okay, that's where you're gonna put in the cells. And the point of starting with these, the weakest and the most high yield, is to be focused at the start of dedicated time or at the start of prep, when you have a clear mind and when you're a bit relaxed, to focus on the topics that require the most from you. The topics that require the most from you are the ones you're weakest at and the most high yield ones, because I don't want you to squeeze them in the end, as at that time, at the end of dedicated, you really wouldn't have much focus and you wouldn't have a clear peace of mind to focus much and consolidate these topics, and that will compromise them, and you don't, that's the last thing you want, which is why I told you to start with the weakest and most high yield at the beginning when you are fresh. Okay, and then the resources used would be the things you're going to put in the columns of the schedule. Like here, for example, the resources used: UWorld, Boards and Beyond, Pathoma, and Sketchy. So that's depends on what you decide to use. And Anki, maybe some people decide to use first aid instead, so you're gonna write them down as well, because based on this you're gonna put your, or you're gonna plan your columns. Okay, Anki and Sketchy, also UWorld obviously. Okay, so now that we decided the order of topics and the resources used, it's very difficult to actually keep manually typing down every topic in the cells. So someone who's so kind and great actually did that, and you can find the documents on Reddit. They listed down all the Pathoma runtimes, like the topics the chapters and the runtimes for the videos, and they did the same with Words and Beyond. And there is even a better one with Sketchy called Sketchy Tracker for Sketchy Micro, Sketchy Farm, and Path if someone is using Sketchy Path. And so what you do is you just copy and paste that in the cell you want when you build your own schedule. So right now, guys, I'm gonna build a schedule with you based on what we said. So here is a book, completely blank book of Excel. You're gonna type down the date in the columns, and then the resources used. We already mentioned UWorld, Boards and Beyond, Pathoma, Sketchy. All right, that's what you decide in the columns. And ideally, your first pass of material, watching the videos and doing Anki, oh, I forgot Anki, watching the videos in block number 1 of your schedule. You divide your schedule into 2 blocks. Block number 1 should take about a month or a month and a half when you're doing studying, like going through and reviewing the material through the videos. So I'm gonna start, for instance, today is January, say the 15th. That's when I recorded this video. So January the 15th, and you're gonna pull it down all the way to 1 month. That's until February the 15th. Okay, so by the end of February, you should be done with the most of the material. The weakest, the most high yield, about half or 3/4 of the material. You should be done with it. The first thing in the morning, as I mentioned before, is doing 1 block of UWorld, timed and random. That's what you should be doing every day. 1 block, timed and random. And then you copy and paste the runtimes from the documents I showed you. So for Boards and Beyond, if you want to start biochem in day 1, you're going to copy that and paste it here, biochem. All right, and for Pathoma, you're going to do the same. Obviously, this is not edited, but like you should leave like 4 cells for a day, merge and center, because like this or whatever, you're gonna leave like 4 or 5 cells per day because it's gonna take a lot of space per day. Okay, so molecular biochemistry, I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna do some Pathoma as well. So you bring the Pathoma runtimes, say you're gonna do chapter 1 of Pathoma, so take that, copy and paste as well right here, and do the same with Sketchy. Of course, you're gonna do the editing, okay? Do the same with Sketchy. And for Anki, you're gonna do the chapters that you watched for the day. I might do another video for that, but for instance, you watched B&B Biochem today, so you're gonna do the corresponding SOS chapter. You watched chapter 1 of Pathoma today, you're gonna do the corresponding Duke chapter. All right. Okay. So that's essentially how you do it. This is your first block. Block number 2 should mainly be, as I mentioned before, focused on practice. By then, you would be done with UWorld already if you're doing 1 block every day. Like by the end of about 2 months, you should be done with UWorld. It's like 3,000 questions. So this is block 2. Obviously, I haven't finished all the material in the first month. There was a lot of like breaks in the middle and holidays and stuff, so I didn't finish the entire material in 1 month. So I had to continue on in August as well, in the second month, until you're done with everything and you leave your strongest topics to the end. As I mentioned, you focus your most time at the beginning. on your weaker ones and the most high yield, and you leave the strongest till the end. My strongest was immunology, so I left it till the end, as you can see, and I didn't even finish all of them. I finished only a little bit that were that I thought were the most high yield, and it turned out they were. By the way, immune deficiency syndromes came a lot on my test. It was like the entire test was immune deficiency syndrome, so thank God that I actually watched that video. And as you can see, most of my second block starting September, because my test was in October, so starting September, I was mainly doing NBMEs and UWorld self-assessments. And at that point, my review source was first going over first aid and cross-referencing it with the incorrects of UWorld. Okay, as you can see here, like every day I will take a chapter and flip through it, okay, alongside the UWorld self-assessments and NBMEs. All right, and as you can see, I actually rewatched the renal videos for Boards and Beyond and for Pathoma, and that was the best decision I've made, by the way. Okay. So you flip through first aid while cross-referencing with UWorld incorrects. At that point, I've already finished UWorld by then and was doing incorrects and NBMEs, UWorld self-assessments, and Pathoma chapters 1 to 3. I actually read them, reread them. I didn't rewatch them, and that is enough to reread them. Okay, and the free 120, you do it like 2 days before the test or 3 days, because some questions get repeated and then the test day. And good luck, guys. I hope this helped.